From the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet presents NCAA Division II men's basketball coverage live on the ECC network. Today's matchup features the Yellow Jackets of American International College taking on the College of Staten Island Dolphins. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Joe Foreman alongside my broadcast partner, Nick Bavona. And Nick, the last time we saw the Dolphins here at home, they picked up the win in conference play over UDC. A huge game for Messiah Mallory in that one, but the big takeaway from that game was CSI's stellar defense.
Absolutely, Joe. The defense for CSI was really good up until, most of this entire game for them. And they really got a great effort, as you said, from Messiah Mallory. 29 points, 13 rebounds. He was huge for CSI. Scored 9 of their first 11 points. Was a big reason why the Dolphins got out to an early start and never rendered the lead.
There's a lot of buzz around this Dolphins team following that last game against UDC earlier in the week on Tuesday, but Mallory wasn't the only one who had a very strong effort in that game. J.J. Chestnut also had 15 points in the game on Tuesday. It was a good all-around effort from the Dolphins, and CSI has typically been a team that's relied heavily on their three-point shooting. That was not the case in Tuesday's game. They shot it all right from downtown, but it was their defense that propelled them to the win against the Firebirds on Tuesday night. That's a formula they'll like to replicate moving forward.
Absolutely, Joe. I mean, when you can get good three-point shooting, you'll take it, but the Dolphins didn't need it in that last game. They got a really good inside presence, over 40 points in the paint in their last game against UDC. And these Yellow Jackets are going to come in here and try to potentially, sting the Dolphins today and get a key win. They're losers of 2 straight. They're trying to pick up a nice win here and get their 4th win of the season.
And the Dolphins will be looking to defend their home floor. CSI going for their 2nd consecutive win at home. They have not won 2 games in a row this year, but the Dolphins have been ahead in the majority of their games this season. Protecting leads has been the issue. They've often built those leads behind their three-point shooting. On Tuesday, they built it behind their defense. That lead was safe all the way through the end of that game, and the Dolphins picked up their first conference win.
Well, Joe, TJ Tibbs talked to you about it at halftime. It was CSI's best defensive game they've had all season. And realistically, it was a big reason why they won in that fashion of matter. They won by 11 points, 74-63. Now they come in today facing American International College, who are looking to get, as I said, a big win. Losers of 2 in a row. They lost a heartbreaker on Thursday. Now they're trying to get a big win today here at the Tank.
And you mentioned that game for American International College on Thursday. They lost by just 2 points against St. Elsem. Justice Ellison led the way in that game with 17 points for the Yellow Jackets, but no other Yellow Jackets scored in double figures in that loss. They'll be looking to get some more offensive production from other places here today.
Absolutely. They really need that production if they're going to have a chance. Ellison is the team leader in points per game this season with 12.3. Also leads the team in rebounds with 5.4 rebounds per game. But they really need more production from their lineup if they're going to have a chance today against the Dolphins. The biggest key in that game, though, Joe, was that AIC was out-rebounded 39-26 in that game. If CSI is going to come out today with a huge win, it's going to come off the glass.
And I would be remiss if I did not mention this is, of course, the McDonald's pregame show. We did have a brand new backdrop that we opened the broadcast with behind us as we get a shot of our pregame, courtesy of our content creator, Marquise Pickering. You couldn't see him on camera, but nonetheless, you mentioned rebounding, certainly an issue for the Yellow Jackets in their last game. That's something they'll hope to turn around, but that has been an issue all season long. They have lost the rebounding battle by an average of over 11 rebounds per game on the year. That simply won't get it done for this team.
Yeah, they have to figure out something on the glass. When your team leading rebounder is 5.4 rebounds per game, that is not a good stat to see on the statistician table. So for AIC, their biggest chance is they're going to have to make a lot of their shots, and they're going to need a lot of good defensive stands against CSI in order to get a win.
Well, speaking of shooting, AIC comes in shooting just a tick above 41% from the field. They've held opponents to about 42% shooting. The issue has come in the three-point shooting. The Yellow Jackets are only shooting 32% from downtown. Opponents shooting 36% from beyond the arc against them. They have won the turnover battle on the season by a slim margin, albeit that could be an area where they look to capitalize the turnover department today. The Dolphins have had their turnover issues in games earlier this season.
And that was a big issue in last year's game, Joe. They were CSI had 16 turnovers to AIC 6. That was a big reason why the Yellow Jackets had a big-time win last year in their last meeting. But for CSI, they did a great job against UDC when it came to turnovers. They forced 15 turnovers in that game, and they forced 19 points off of those turnovers. CSI is going to look to do that again today, and they're going to look to force UDC to make some tough shots from the three-point arc.
Protecting the basketball is certainly a key for CSI. As we mentioned already, the Dolphins have shot it very well on the season. Perhaps they could look to capitalize against this AIC three-point defense. But turning our attention to the AIC offense, I mentioned the 41.5% shooting on the season. Agabu Balde leads the way shooting from the field, shooting up around 56%. However, he plays just 17 minutes per game. A lot of their leaders in minutes not shooting particularly well. Jack Hall among their leading scorers as well. He's playing about 34 minutes per game, shooting just 38% from the field. Omarion Jet Dobbs playing 31 minutes, shooting just 35%. Several other players below that 40% mark for American International. That's something they'll look to change in this matchup against the Dolphins. The CSI defense, as we mentioned already, very strong in their last game. Certainly not going to be easy for the Yellow Jackets to improve upon those shooting numbers.
Yeah, I mean, for CSI, they shot 45% from the field in their last game, and that was despite the fact that they shot 27% from the three-point arc, which has been a constant stay for CSI all season. But the biggest key for CSI's win that last game was they had 42 points in the paint, Joe. That was a huge reason why they got that win, and Mallory was a big reason why they got most of those points.
No doubt about that. Messiah Mallory was fantastic in that game on Tuesday night. When I came in this morning, the team was playing my conversation with him following the game. Now, that conversation a bit overshadowed after it was over by the presence of our mascot, Danny the Dolphin. He barged right in, nearly sent me to physical therapy with TLC.
Absolutely, Joe. Danny the Dolphin likes to get a little bit touchy, and he definitely did in that post-game interview.
And speaking of that game on Tuesday, going back to the action on the court, the Dolphins only had 8 available players in that game. They once again will have 8 available players today. On Tuesday, the Dolphins only got 9 points from their bench. They'll be looking to get a bit more production from the players off their bench in this game. They'll certainly need it.
Yeah, they're going to definitely need it in this game. They're also going to need a lot more production from their team. Other than Mallory and Chestnut, the only other scorer for CSI that scored double digits was Luis Armas, and he didn't really have the biggest shooting game in that game, 2 of 7 from the field. So CSI really could use a lot more production from their team as a whole if they're going to get a nice second straight win here today.
And getting that production from players outside of Chestnut and Mallory, in part, comes down to volume. You take a look at the Dolphins' shot attempts in that game. They attempted 62 shots as a team. Chestnut and Mallory combined for half of those, and only 3 of the shots they attempted between the 2 of them were three-pointers. 2 of them went down. Both of those belong to Messiah Mallory. So for the Dolphins in that last game on Tuesday, they only attempted 18 threes. If they play the kind of defense they played on Tuesday, and those three-point attempts remain down along with that inside scoring, that's certainly a recipe for success.
Absolutely, Joe. And they're going to also need Chestnut, who made some great passes in that game. As I said, had 6 assists in that game to lead CSI, and it was a big reason why they came out on top with the win. A lot of points in the paint. If they're not able to shoot it from the three-point arc again, they have to go inside the paint again in order to get a win.
Well, as a team, the Dolphins have shot it well from downtown on the season. As we opened the pregame with, they're shooting 36% as a team. But as you said, Nick, they did not need that level of three-point shooting in their last game. The last time out, the Dolphins only shot 28% from three-point range. 5 of 18, but if they are going to look to score it from beyond the arc, players they can turn to out on the floor right now include Messiah Mallory, shooting around 35%, and Luis Armas, who's up around 37%. Of course, they are still without Bryce Waterman. He is out with an injury. That's a big loss for this Dolphins team.
Absolutely, Joe. When your team leading scorer is out and he's one of their best three-point shooters, it's a really big injury for a team, but it forces other players to step up. We've seen the emergence of J.J. Chestnut these last couple of games. He has really emerged as a leader on this team. Mallory has had a bigger role as of late, and we've seen Armas and Velasquez do the stuff that they usually normally do. They keep CSI in the game with their shooting, and CSI has been really good with it, and they had a great game plan this past Tuesday. Can they keep it again here tonight?
And on the topic of outside scoring, as we shift our attention back over to the Yellow Jackets, Jalen Jordan among their leading scorers with 11.3 points per game. He is shooting 47% from downtown. He is attempting about 3 3-pointers per game. So that's a very solid number for him. If he can knock down 2 out of 3 threes, that could be big for the Yellow Jackets. Overall, he's shooting 44% from the field. So he's shooting more efficiently from beyond the arc than he is from inside of it. Taking a look at their other 2 leading scorers, I already mentioned Justice Ellison. He's shooting up above 47% from the field on the season, averaging 12.3 points per game. Jack Hall rounds out the 3 leading scorers for AIC. He's averaging 12.1 and shooting sub 40%, as I mentioned before. So those are 3 names to watch out for on the American International side of things.
Yeah, I mean, Joe, if you look at the stats, realistically, after those top 3 scores, it's kind of a big drop-off from who their next big leading scorer is. So for CSI, if they're able to contain that quote-unquote big 3, the Dolphins will have a great chance to get a huge win, their second straight win, and get some nice momentum going into the next game.
And with that, we will wrap up the McDonald's pregame show. Once again, this is Joe Foreman alongside Nick Pavona. When we come back from this short break, we will have the introduction of starting lineups, the playing of the national anthem, and full coverage of today's non-conference matchup between the College of Staten Island and American International College, NCAA Division II men's basketball, coming up on the other side of this short break.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we apologize for our technical difficulties. We had a bit of an issue with our video feed, but it appears we are back just in time for tip-off as the Dolphins take on American International College. First attempt of the game by CSI rattles out on the three-point try by Luis Armas. Once again, the starters for American International: Balde, Ellison, Hall, Jordan, and Jet Dobbs. For the Dolphins, Armas, Mallory, Velasquez, Chestnut, and Shkolny. Chestnut will bring it up for Staten Island, and that pass barely got into Mallory as Armas tries another three. That's no good. Mallory with an offensive board in traffic, and the Dolphins will reset.
So a lot of those rebounds in the last game for Mallory. That's why he led the team with 13, and he is the team's leading rebounder this season.
This is Velasquez looking to drive. Pull-up jumper is good, and the Dolphins are on the board.
Strong start for CSI. We saw a lot of offensive rebounds from Mallory. It led to a nice wide-open shot for Velasquez. CSI with the first 2 points of the game.
Dolphins are ready with 3 tries from the field on the first 2 possessions. Mallory helps provide the Dolphins with a pair of early second-chance points.
You might see a lot of that from CSI. As we said, AIC is a struggling team with rebounding this season. CSI looks to take advantage of it.
Kick out to the perimeter. 3-point try by Hall is too strong and rebounded by Shkolny.
Armas to Chestnut. Chestnut gives it back to Shkolny.
Shkolny with a nice feed inside from Mallory, but he is rejected from behind by Ellison.
Nice defensive play from Ellison. Mallory looking for his first points of the night.
Ellison, the team's leading scorer, starting for just the second time this season. Ten on the shot clock as Jet Dobbs kicks out. 3-point try by Jordan, no good. And the rebound goes to Velasquez. Here come the Dolphins. You touched on it during the pregame, Nick. It was a big win for the Yellow Jackets over CSI last year. Dolphins now the home team as Shkolny buries a triple. Timeout, Yellow Jackets.
Strong start for CSI defensively and offensively as Shkolny knocks down that three-pointer.
And we're going to take a quick break here and try and address our camera issues, as right now we are having output issues with our video. We'll be right back here on the ECC Network.
And we are back from the tank here at the College of Staten Island. CSI with an early 5-0 lead as Armas takes the shot and knocks it down. CSI up 7-0. Here comes Ellison. He gives it up to Jet Dobbs. Jet Dobbs leads the team in assists. Now up to Jordan. Shot is missed there. Offensive rebound for the Yellow Jackets. Ball is still loose. And the Yellow Jackets are able to come up with it. Now a three-pointer for Ellison. That one is off the mark. Offensive rebound again. And another opportunity for AIC. And a foul is going to be on the Dolphins right there. Foul's going to be on Chestnut. That's going to be his first. As Jet Dobbs will go to the free throw line.
Foul on J.J. Chestnut.
Hopefully that addresses our video output issues. I headed up to the perch up top, and I think we've taken care of that as Jet Dobbs gets the Yellow Jackets on the board for the first time. Dolphins lead it 7-1, just over 3.5 minutes into the first half. And Jet Dobbs goes 2 of 2 from the line. Yellow Jackets in his own defense here. Dolphins with an immediate response as Mallory throws it down.
What great passing from CSI. Velasquez to Chestnut. Chestnut to Mallory. Great start for CSI.
That three-pointer a bit short by Piakrishvili. And on the putback, Justice Ellison makes it a 5-point game.
Well, Joe, you see right there, he's the reason why he leads the team in points per game and rebounds. Big-time offensive rebound and bucket to put them within 5.
Armas swings it to Shkolny. Bounce pass to the corner for Chestnut, and he throws it away.
Beautiful read by Jack Hall.
And Hall banks it in. Tough shot as Hall hangs and hits.
TJ Tibbs not happy about that one. Can't say I blame him. Great read by Hall. Got a tough bucket to go in, and it's now a 3-point game.
Shkolny swings it to Velasquez. Now Armas. Armas pull-up. Way short. And the rebound goes to Ellison.
Chance for AIC to tie the game, make it a 1-point game right here.
Ellison couldn't get it to go off the window, and the Yellow Jackets appear a bit more energized out of that timeout. That despite a Dolphins alley-oop slam that I'm sure we'll get a second look at once we head into our next break. Dolphins continue to work it around the outside. 10 on the shot clock. Velasquez, bounce pass for Mallory, was knocked out of bounds.
Strong defensive start for AIC as we're going to head into a media timeout. But before we head into the media timeout, Joe, looks like we're going to take a replay of that Mallory dunk.
We sure will, as we'll have to get a look at it perhaps coming back from the break, as we have a bunch of replays queued up here. Let's see if we can find it quickly. And here it is, as Mallory throws it down, busting that zone defense. How's this for a zone buster? Velasquez to Chestnut to Mallory for the two-handed slam on the alley-oop. Dolphins lead it 9-6 with 14:49 to play in the first half.
Car is damaged. Where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
And we are back from the tank here at the College of Staten Island. Currently a 9-6 lead for CSI. CSI will inbound it here. Chestnut looking for somewhere to go to. He'll inbound it to Mallory. Mallory out to Armas. Armas back to Mallory. Mallory puts up the 2, and it knocks it down. 11-6 CSI. Mallory off to a nice start here, as we saw on Tuesday against UDC. As CSI trying to expose that zone defense of American International. And an offensive foul on the Yellow Jackets.
Once again, it looks like the Dolphins' defense has come to play early in this game. Just 6 points through over 5.5 minutes in this first half for the Yellow Jackets. And once again, the CSI defense off to a strong start. At the offensive end for Staten Island, 4 points for Mallory, 3 for Shkolny. Chestnut will bring it up. Dolphins lead by 5. Chestnut directing traffic. Shot clock ticks down toward 15. Adefella Fakarode into the game. This is Velasquez, baseline pull-up. Short, and Mallory snatches the air ball. He's triple teamed. Fakarode up top to Velasquez. Armas for 3. Splash.
It's a tough shot by Armas, hand in his face, but he knocks down the triple. CSI has done a great job so far against this 3-2 defense of AIC, and they've got an 11-point lead early on.
Yellow Jackets will attempt a 3 of their own. That's too strong by Carlos Hub, and the rebound goes to CSI. Fakarode open. Thought about it, looks to drive, and he stepped on the baseline. Not a bad idea there by Fakarode to try and find Mallory, who was open under the basket.
Well, Joe, whenever you can find him under the basket, you know you want to give him the ball, especially how he played in that last game. And that was a key point to CSI's win that last game, 42 points in that paint, as we said earlier.
I have to say, I love the footwear choices over on the CSI bench. First time today I've noticed. Had to point that out. Perhaps you see it on your screen off in the distance, as that three-pointer is no good.
Going to stay with the Yellow Jackets.
That attempt by Kanye Wavezwa. He will be the inbounder with 20 on the shot clock. 13-12 remaining in the first half. And Fakarode deflected it without seeing it. Nice job there shielding his man off the ball.
Got eyes in the back of his head, Joe.
Chestnut was looking for Fakarode, and he threw it away. Dolphins lead at 14-6, and even 13 minutes to play in the first half.
Got a slow start for AIC, to say the least, shooting-wise from the game. Just 2 of 12 so far.
And if you're the Dolphins coaching staff, you have to love this stat. 6 made baskets, 6 assists for Staten Island. There's a 3-point attempt by Hall. Once again, no good. And the struggles from downtown continue for the Yellow Jackets.
And CSI can take advantage of that and make this a double-digit game. They are currently 0-9 now for the Yellow Jackets in this first half, so a slow start to say the least.
0-9 from beyond the arc early in this game. Armas for 3. Splash.
Armas has the stroke so far, Joe. He knocks down another triple early on. CSI off to a monster start.
Armas missed a couple to get things started. Has since hit a pair from downtown. Once again, that shot too strong. And the Dolphins have another rebound. They lead it by 12, and we're looking to push. This zone defense has left CSI open from various spots on the floor. There's some more good passing. Fakarode goes up and couldn't get the shot to go, as 3-second violation was the call.
That's a tough one for CSI. Almost got a foul call, but the 3-second violation will force us now to go into immediate timeout, Joe.
And with that, we'll take a quick break. I mistakenly said the Dolphins led by 12. The scoreboard has been adjusted. It is Staten Island 17, AIC 6, 11:43 to play in the first half.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experiences possible.
Car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4899.
And we are back from the tank. Joe Foreman alongside Nick Pavona. Dolphins lead it by 11 in the first half. And Nick, once again, a double-digit first-half lead for Staten Island.
Couldn't ask for a better start. A slow start for AIC, to say the least. They really have not been able to shoot from the outside. And Armas has been a monster so far in this first half, as there's a travel now for the Yellow Jackets.
The Dolphins have 7 made baskets on 12 shots. They are 3 of 5 from downtown. And on those 7 made field goals, they now have 7 assists. You can't script a much better start for CSI.
They're taking full advantage of this zone defense. They've seen a lot of open shots, and they've gotten them all to fall so far. This has been a very good start for CSI. Can they maintain it, though, throughout the stretch of this game?
Shkolny out to Chestnut. He'll try a 3. Short. Rebound to Piakrishvili. Yellow Jackets working into the corner. Looking to post up is Balde. He had it poked away from behind. Piakrishvili drives baseline, kicks out. Ellison crosses over, looks to spin, and he was fouled.
Well, before that foul, Joe, CSI's defense has been really strong in this first half. The 2-3 deep zone has really affected the Yellow Jackets. They haven't been able to get a lot of good looks, and when they do get good looks, they haven't been able to knock them down. But now we'll see Ellison go to the line to try to make this a 9-point game potentially.
Well, you said it, Nick. It was a big 36-point win for the Yellow Jackets when these two teams met last year, as Ellison misses the free throw. But the Yellow Jackets team, in terms of personnel that we're seeing out on the floor today, looks a lot different than last year's squad.
Their top 3 scorers from that game, Joe, all not on this squad today. So this is a chance for CSI to get some big-time revenge from last year's bad game against AIC.
Piakrishvili, the only player that I see here who scored at least 9 points that is active for today's game. So we will see if anyone else can step up. We mentioned Ellison, the leading scorer last time out and on the season for the Yellow Jackets. As Chestnut on the backhanded layup is able to finish in traffic.
That was a tough one again for CSI, but Chestnut has been just like this the last couple of weeks. He has emerged as a star for this team. Nice flash on that bucket.
And we have a foul call underneath. I believe it was against Chestnut this time.
That's going to be, I believe, his second foul early on here in this first half.
Foul on the Dolphins, number 20, J.J. Chestnut. His second, team's third. Into the game for the Dolphins is out.
That's J.J.'s second, so he will head to the bench. It's the team's third. And a turnover off the inbound now. Taking a look toward the Dolphins bench. Looks like Michael Oyakanmi is not available for today's game either.
That's an interesting sight to see, as there's a bad turnover for CSI. And it's going to lead to an easy 2 for the Yellow Jackets to put them within 11.
Vezwa lays it in off the steal. That makes it an 11-point game. And looks like our scoreboards in the venue are not communicating properly. There's a lot of delay up there.
A lot of confusion so far, but no confusion from Messiah Mallory on that shot. When you get it open like that, he's going to take it all the time. As there's a nice rebound for the Dolphins. It's been a slow start to say, as we said a lot of times already in this first half, Joe, for the Yellow Jackets. Another shot that they could not knock down.
Well, confused was an adequate word to describe my state of mind as I saw 2 scoreboards with different scores. They're both connected to the same panel. Velasquez for 3. Air ball.
Just a bit too much on that shot for Velasquez, as the Yellow Jackets going to get some subs in right now, trying to at least get some points on the board.
Taking a look at the 5 Dolphins on the floor. Shkolny, Fakarode, Mallory, Velasquez, Armas, the 3 bench players available right now. Chestnut, Cardenas, Vargas, as the Dolphins turn it over yet again, and Shkolny is whistled for a foul.
Foul on the Dolphins, number 30, David Shkolny. His first team's
Another tough turnover for the Dolphins right there. AIC has done a good job so far forcing these turnovers, getting some points off of them.
There you see the giveaway, but what I was curious to get a look at was the follow-through by Shkolny. And Shkolny certainly thought he had a clean block. But whenever you see a windup and a follow-through, there's always a chance the officials may come over here and check it out. So I had to make sure we had that clipped. Both free throws are good. The Dolphins' lead is 11 with 9 minutes to play in this first half.
Well, CSI needs to fix the turnovers that they've had already in this first half. That's a big reason why AIC is still in this game.
Mallory couldn't get the push shot to go. Ellison almost lost his footing there. .20 on the shot clock. Hall feeds it inside. Kick out by Jordan. Jet Hobbs, big crossover, hands it back to Jordan. Ellison with 6 to shoot. Now Pia Krishvili knocks down a 3.
That was a big-time splash, and now it's an 8-point game, Joe, with that three-pointer. CSI has really let AIC come back into this game due to the fact that they've had a lot of bad turnovers in this first half.
Mallory couldn't get the turnaround jumper to go. Turnover tally for the Dolphins now stands at 6. For the Yellow Jackets, 6 points off of those turnovers. That three-pointer, the last time down the floor for AIC, their first in 11 tries. And there's an air ball on attempt number 12 by Ellison.
They cannot get anything going from the arc.
Armas back up top to Velasquez. He looks to drive. Shkolny reels that pass in. Velasquez open for 3. Too strong. Ellison with the rebound.
And now CSI, Joe, they're starting to get cold from the field after they started off red hot.
Tough shot by Ellison off the window, no good. Fakarode with the rebound. Ellison already has 4 rebounds. Shooting just 1 of 4 from the floor.
Ellison had 10 in his last game on Thursday. After a strong start today.
And Shkolny knocks down another 3.
That is a big-time 3 for CSI. They started to get a little bit cold from the floor, but Shkolny knocks down another 3 to put them back up double digits.
Shkolny with a line drive trajectory on his jump shot. Jet Hobbs is forced to give it up. Hall can't connect on the 3, and we have a foul underneath.
It's going to be on the Dolphins.
And that will bring us to a media timeout. Based upon some of the reactions to that last call over on the Dolphins bench, and I think more so the reaction to a potential for an offensive rebound, this could be a very animated discussion going on over there on that bench heading into this break. So we will step aside with the Dolphins leading by 11, 6:45 to go in the first half.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we are back from the tank. The Dolphins' lead is 11 points in this first half, just inside of 7 minutes to play. Following the loose ball foul against Staten Island, the Yellow Jackets will inbound it with 20 on the shot clock.
Yeah, costly foul to say at least, Joe. The Dolphins had an easy rebound. Now another foul at CSI.
And the Dolphins cannot afford foul trouble.
That now puts them at 6 now for the first half.
That's just Armas' first, as that's far too easy. A dunk off of the inbound. Jalen Jordan throws it down.
Dolphins defense caught slacking on that one, Joe. And the Yellow Jackets really made him pay for it.
Yellow Jackets now looking to trap a bit. Fakarode, baseline drive. Tick out to Mallory. Mallory for Shkolny. Shkolny for Mallory. And that's a tough shot over the outstretched arm of Jordan by Messiah.
We've seen a lot of tough shots so far for CSI. And Mallory, who I missed his last couple of shots, makes a big one right there to put the Dolphins back up double digits.
That's a spot on the floor Mallory clearly likes to work from. Just inside of the free throw line in the paint. He can go up from there with the hook, the pull-up, the turnaround. He has the full repertoire available to him. As once again, the Yellow Jackets are headed to the line. Dolphins pick up their 17th foul, so it's 1-and-1 bonus for American International. Pikrishvili to the line, and he misses the first.
Oh, Dolphins catch a big break right there, but some really careless fouls in this first half. They're going to need to fix that down the stretch of this half with under 6 minutes to go.
CSI fortunate that the Yellow Jackets have shot it so poorly. That due in part to CSI's defense. But you said it, Nick, the turnovers began to be an issue for them about at the midway point of this half. Velasquez with a pull-up three off back iron and rebounded by Armas.
A strong offensive rebound for the Dolphins. Now that with 14 on the shot clock, Dolphins will take a timeout as they try to draw up a play with now 13 on the shot clock and 5:27 to go in this first half.
And we will stay right here through this timeout. It's going to be a 30-second timeout for the Dolphins. They will have 13 to shoot when play resumes. But, Nick, once again, the Dolphins get off to a red-hot start from the field. We know that's tough to sustain. Their defensive effort, however, is something that likely can be sustained over 40 minutes. We speculated on Tuesday whether or not they could maintain that effort for 40 minutes. They sure did. So far, so good here today.
Absolutely, Joe. They started off really hot from the field. They have gotten a little bit cold this last couple of minutes and have also had some really bad fouls and turnovers. But the Dolphins' defensive effort so far in this first half has been really good. As we've said, 1 of 13 for the Yellow Jackets from the three-point line. They have really not been able to get anything going down from there. And at 5-21 overall from the field. It's been a strong defensive effort from CSI, due in fact to their 2-3 defense. They need to keep it going, but they need to get out of foul trouble to do so.
We mentioned the red-hot start for Staten Island. Despite getting a bit cold these last few minutes, they are still shooting 48% from the field in this half. And Armas throws up an air ball from the corner.
Another tough shot for Armas with a hand in his face.
That hasn't been tough for him for the majority of this season. He's shown the willingness to pull shots quickly from anywhere. As Jalen Jordan's beginning to heat up, he has 2 more, and once again the Dolphins' lead is 9.
CSI has really let the Yellow Jackets get back into this game. We've seen a lot of games so far this year, Joe, where the Dolphins have had these double-digit leads and have not been able to maintain them.
And Shkolny has another 3.
But Shkolny is able to maintain another three-pointer in this first half. He puts the Dolphins back up double digits. He's off to a red-hot start.
He's CSI's leading scorer. 9 points for Shkolny. Pikrishvili for 3, and he answers.
What a big-time answer. Now we're starting to get to see a little bit more shooting from both of these teams. It's now a 9-point game with under 4:30 to go in the first half.
Pace picking up just a bit. As Fakarode tries the mid-range, that won't go. Shkolny has 9 for Staten Island. Mallory 8. Armas 8. That's a turnover by Jordan. Jump ball is called. Possession arrow favors AIC. Pikrishvili leads the way for the Yellow Jackets in scoring. He has 6. All of those coming from beyond the arc.
Jump ball, possession, Yellow Jackets.
See Vargas now check it in for the Dolphins as they look to get some size down low with Mallory.
Vargas had a nice effort on Tuesday as well, made an impact in his minutes. Hall inside for Jordan. Kick out, and a contested 3 is good. Omarion Jet Dobbs from downtown.
Big time shot by the Jet, if they call him that. Big, huge shot for the Yellow Jackets. They're now within 6.
We'll have to find out. Shkolny with the fake, finds Armas open. Splash.
The three-pointers are now starting to come here, Joe. It's a now 9-point lead for CSI as Armas knocks down another triple.
Dolphins lead it by 9. Under 3.5 to play. Hall for 3. No good. And rebounded by Mallory.
So I see a lot more three-pointers down the stretch of this first half. And a lot of good makes so far. Just a miss right there for the Yellow Jackets. CSI with this possession could go back up double digits.
Armas surveys the floor. Finds Mallory in the corner. Back to Shkolny. Less than 10 to shoot. As Hall dives to the floor and took it away. Here comes Jordan. Right at Mallory, can't finish. And Vargas has the rebound.
What a great defensive stand by Messiah Mallory. No foul call, was able to make it a tough shot, and the Yellow Jackets could not take advantage of the turnover.
That's good physical play on both sides of the ball. A good no call, nicely done by the officials as we have a foul call here. And that will send us to another media timeout. Dolphins lead it by 9. 2:38 to play in the first half.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
And we are back from the tank with 2:38 on the clock in this first half. The Dolphins lead over American International College is 9 points. And Nick, the Dolphins led by as many as 13 points. That lead has been trimmed down just a bit, but when all is said and done, Dolphins have played very good defense in this first half. Once again, the turnovers have been a bit of an issue, but that's been overshadowed by the ball movement and the shooting of Staten Island so far as the Dolphins lead at 32-23.
Kind of deja vu, Joe, from what we saw on Tuesday. Strong defense from the Dolphins, and they had a really strong start to the game. It's gotten a little bit slow here in these later minutes, but the Dolphins still have a 9-point lead.
Shkolny was fouled as he looked to take it inside. Jordan picks up personal. Another point we've made more than once already this season, the Dolphins don't get to the free throw line much, and that's been the case in this game as well. These free throw attempts will be the first for Staten Island. First attempt by Shkolny is no good. With a make here, he would be in double figures. And the commentator's jinx strikes again.
Joe, what did we not learn from Tuesday? What happened?
I didn't speak while he was shooting.
But the jinx was still there.
And
well, not on that play.
Shkolny comes up with the steal. And he's among the leaders in steals on this Dolphins team. And that's not a good pass by Velasquez.
Giveth and taketh right there. As that's going to be an and one for the Yellow Jackets.
Count the basket through the contact as Jalen Jordan continues his strong first half with that make. And we'll get a second look at it right here.
Yeah, Jordan has certainly kept the Yellow Jackets in this game. Nice time and one, but another careless turnover for the Dolphins. And we've seen a lot of that in this first half. With the free throw here, it would be a 6-point game.
Jordan now has 6, a chance for one more at the line. He's 3 of 6 from the field, a couple of rebounds and an assist. He's the only Yellow Jacket with more than 4 field goal attempts, shooting at least 50% from the field.
He is their third leading scorer on the season, so you can see why he is still an integral part of this offense.
This team trails by just 6 now, despite a 9 of 27 start. And Velasquez is short on the pull-up. Rebound to Ellison. And Velasquez takes it back. Goes at Ellison and banks it in.
What a defensive stop by Velasquez. He missed the shot but was able to read the pass, gets a nice turnover force, doesn't get the foul call, but he does get a nice bucket to put CSI back up 8. There's an injury timeout as Amarian Jet Dobbs, who was trying to get the ball on that pass, went down and is very gingerly as he walks back to the bench.
We'll get a look at that make by Velasquez once again, and we'll see if we can spot where that injury may have occurred. There you see the pass intercepted by Velasquez, and he hangs and hits over Ellison. And I like the way this game has been officiated so far. They are letting these guys play out there. Certainly like to see that, and I'm sure the players appreciate it most of the time, as the Dolphins' lead is back up to 8 points. Just over 90 seconds to play in the first half.
The Yellow Jackets staying alive in this game despite the fact that they've had a really poor shooting first half. But a big bucket right here would help.
And that does go down for Jack Hall. That's a three-pointer. Hall now has 7. He was just 1 of 5 before that attempt. As our statisticians were nearly taken out.
Well, Joe, when you're at courtside, you always got to keep your head up when the basketball is in play. So heads up play by our statisticians over there at the scores desk.
Nicely done by Lewis to protect the equipment. 1 minute to play in the half. Ellison off the spin, can't get the bank shot to go, and Mallory has the rebound.
CSI really needs a bucket here in these remaining 50 seconds.
Their lead is down to 5 points. That was tipped. Hall saved it, and Jordan has it. He was fouled.
Foul's going to be on
head
Mallory.
To the line. And I think Jordan instead was called for the foul.
Wow, what a turn of events there, Joe. It looked like CSI was going to get called with the foul on Mallory. And instead the foul is on Jalen Jordan. That's his second. 4th now for the Yellow Jackets, and a huge sigh of relief for CSI. 42.8 to go in the first half and 20 seconds to go on the shot clock.
And I think that's the right call. That's a dangerous play as Jordan rolled up over Mallory's leg, diving for that ball. And for the player who's on his feet right there, in that case, Mallory, that's definitely a dangerous play. So, right call there.
Yeah, and CSI already having enough injury issues as it is, so if Mallory were to go down there, that would have been a big loss. But he is still in the game.
Dolphins could have gone 2 for 1 if they hurried. Instead, they'll play this possession out, 8 on the shot clock. Facarode for Velasquez. He floats one up, no good. It's tipped out to Jordan.
A little too strong on the shot, and now the Yellow Jackets can hold on for the final shot, as there was almost a backcourt violation right there.
That was awfully close. Wavezwa was able to keep it from crossing the timeline. 7 seconds to play in the quarter. Should say in the half. Ellison had it knocked away with 1.9 remaining.
And now if you're the Yellow Jackets, you got to try to draw up something really quick to try to get a nice bucket. CSI will put Vargas in now to try to get some size down low. We saw already on an inbound pass where the Yellow Jackets had an easy, wide-open dunk. So CSI trying to avoid that right here.
Vargas in, Facarode out. 1.9 on the clock. They were looking for Hall there, and it was knocked away by CSI as time expires in the first half. Our score at the end of 20 minutes, Staten Island 34, AIC 29. We're joined by TJ Tibbs in just a moment. Head coach TJ Tibbs. Coach, 12 assists on 14 made shots. Starting with the good, is the ball movement a point of emphasis? And what was your take on the ball movement in the first half?
Yeah, AIC plays a great zone, so they probably have 10 or 11 turnovers. So they're active on the top, deflection. So we're moving the ball well. Most of our shots today are going to come from assists. So we started off really well. But again, the story of the first half all the time. Just cannot finish the first half and do well. But proud of guys like Josh Vargas coming out and having an impact when he came in.
You mentioned the turnovers being an issue late in that half. What else has to change in half number 2 to protect this lead?
It's simple, man. JJ has been great for us. He's been playing 40 minutes a game, and I just protected him. Probably a little too much of holding him out long, but our guys, I've seen this, Chris Velasquez and some older guys got to be able to take care of the ball. We got to communicate. We let guys get loose a little bit, get loose and make some shots. We got to communicate. We got to be tougher than them, and we just got to be a lot better in the second half. It's going to be a similar game.
All right, thanks, Coach. Once again, CSI Dolphins men's basketball head coach TJ Tibbs joins us ahead of the halftime break. When we come back here on CSI Sportsnet, the start of half number 2 between the College of Staten Island Dolphins and the American International College Yellow Jackets.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experience as possible.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
Hi, Meals on Wheels. I'm Marco. I'm a college student, and I volunteer as a driver for Meals on Wheels. I think it's awesome meeting these people. I mean, they're so interesting. They've had so many wonderful experiences in life. Your community helps to raise you up into the person that you become. Meals on Wheels is a great way to give back to that community.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
Hi, Meals on Wheels. I'm Marco. I'm a college student, and I volunteer as a driver for Meals on Wheels. I think it's awesome meeting these people. I mean, they're so interesting. They've had so many wonderful experiences in life. Your community helps to raise you up into the person that you become. Meals on Wheels is a great way to give back to that community.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
As an American, it's hard to hear that we have a serious hunger issue in our country. And as a parent, it's even harder to hear that 1 in 5 of our kids struggles with hunger, especially when billions of pounds of good food are wasted every year. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide billions of meals to families in need right in your community. Visit feedingamerica.org to support Feeding America and your local food bank. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at It's On Us.
And we are back from the tank. Once again, Joe Foreman joining you alongside Nick Bavona. The Dolphins' lead is 5 points at the start of half number 2. Dolphins in this game led by as many as 13. The Yellow Jackets have never led in this game. And Nick, we mentioned it. The Dolphins early in this game shot it very well. We're moving the ball very well. Late in that first half, they got a bit cold and began to turn the ball over.
Absolutely, Joe. I mean, CSI's largest lead of the game was at 1 point, 13 points, as Mallory could not get that shot. Nice defensive stand for the Yellow Jackets. CSI did shoot 46% from the field, but as you said, they really started off strong in the first half, but really got cold down the stretch of that half, and it really led to the Yellow Jackets making this now a 5-point game.
Dolphins also sent the Yellow Jackets into a bonus situation early in that first half. It only ever got to a 1-and-1 bonus, but they did a good job to avoid foul trouble for the last few minutes. Dolphins were in a precarious spot late in that half, as once again it's Jalen Jordan banking that shot in. He now has 9.
Yeah, Jordan was one of the biggest key factors to the Yellow Jackets getting back into this game, as he gets a nice 2 right there. They're now a 3-point game and another turnover for the Dolphins.
And that's a great feed and an easy 2 on the lay-in for Balde, and just like that, it's a 1-point game.
CSI is winning the turnover battle, Joe, going into the half, but that's another careless turnover, and there's another one.
Dolphins cough it up yet again. Floater by Hall, and the Yellow Jackets take the lead.
TJ Tibbs is in disgust right now, Joe. 2 terrible turnovers start off the half for the Dolphins, and now for the first time today, the Yellow Jackets have the lead.
Early in this game, the Dolphins were picking apart this American International zone, but the Yellow Jackets stuck with that defense, and now it's paying dividends. Armas for 3. No good. And the rebound goes to Jordan.
CSI really needed that shot to go down. Yellow Jackets with a chance right here.
That rattles out on the 3-point try by Jack Hall, and that would have been a big shot. Armas travels.
No doubt about that one, Joe. That's another careless turnover for CSI early in this second half. They've got to fix something early, or else the Yellow Jackets are going to be down, or are going to be up, I should say, more than 1 point at the current moment.
Dolphins bench waving their players forward. Looking to press here. Chestnut and Shkolny were able to force Jet Dobbs to pick up his dribble, but the Yellow Jackets get it across the timeline with ease.
CSI needing a good defensive stand here, as the momentum is certainly swinging towards AIC.
No doubt about that. Hall spins baseline to the rim. Can't finish. He went down, and the Dolphins had numbers for a moment if they hurried. Velasquez to the rim. That's a tough shot. Rebounded by Mallory. Armas again for 3. Too strong. And Shkolny grabs the miss. Armas will try again. No good. And Armas has been off.
Slow start to this second half for CSI. Armas missing 2 threes right there. A lot of chances for the Dolphins. They have not been able to capitalize, but the Yellow Jackets are able to capitalize right there.
Omarion Jet Dobbs makes it a 3-point game. Armas now 3 of 9 from downtown after those 2 misses. And American International now leads by 3 as the Dolphins throw it away again.
Ball was tipped. Ball was tipped as Chestnut was going into the lane. Didn't mean to cut you off, Joe. And Chestnut tried to make a pass there, but lost the handle of it, and it led to the turnover.
Dolphins in the past have typically let their team play through some struggles, and that's the case right here. No timeout being called by Coach Tibbs. This very often is the norm. We'll see how this Dolphins unit responds.
Well, with 1 minute to go before the media timeout, CSI trying to preserve those timeouts down the stretch of this game, but they really need to, talk it over and try to figure out what exactly was going wrong so far.
They've just been careless with the basketball at times, as Ellison had it stripped away. Shkolny for Chestnut, bounce pass to Mallory, kick out. Shkolny finds Velasquez. He had it poked away, and the Dolphins have turned it over yet again.
How about this defensive start for AIC? Oh, that's a hard foul by Mallory right there. Dangerous down for Ellison as he is slow to get up.
Mallory's hand got trapped between Ellison's arm and the basketball there. It's going to be 2 shots for Ellison.
And now, Joe, you got to wonder, are they going to discuss if that's a flagrant foul or not?
We replayed it, and I think they're going to head over here and check it out. So we'll see if they decide to take a look at it. I'm not sure the officials know we have replay available.
I'm not sure if they know either. Foul certainly on Mallory. Now, the debate is it a flagrant foul on Mallory or not? It's a really bad foul. It was a really tough landing for Ellison there.
I think that's a situation where the landing is what would prompt the call. There is no way that's a flagrant foul by my estimation, but we'll get a second look at it and see if perhaps my opinion changes. Now, the only way you could call that a flagrant foul is if you say Mallory pulled the shooter down to the floor. I don't think he did. I think his hand got trapped between Ellison's arm and the ball.
And that's exactly what Tibbs was saying during that debate. was saying that there was no way he could have gotten his hand away from that.
And I think that's a good point. I agree. Now, I said earlier, they were really letting these guys play out there, as Justin Cardenas will check in for the Dolphins. Might be the first time we've seen Justin in a game here at home.
Well, with the amount of injuries and substitutions that CSI has in this game, Cardenas will have to play a lot more. As CSI looks for some kind of spark. Second free throw was missed. They're currently down 4 as we approach the 16-minute mark.
Dolphins have not scored in the second half as we approach 4 minutes gone by since the end of the halftime break. Mallory looking to post up, and he has it taken away again.
Another turnover for the Dolphins.
And Hall was blocked. It's going to be Yellow Jackets' ball.
CSI has had more turnovers, I think, Joe, than actual field goal attempts made, or attempted, I should say, in the second half. A really, really bad start for CSI. They've got to fix something.
This Yellow Jackets defense has really tightened up since the early going. There were a lot of holes in that zone early on, nothing to speak of since about the midway point of the first half. And Agabu Balde has made this a 6-point game. This one beginning to slip away. Velasquez on the pull-up, and he finally gets the Dolphins on the board in the second half.
That's going to bring a spark back into this building, Joe. Big-time shot by Velasquez to make it a 4-point game.
American International by 4. This is Jordan. Swings it over to the right wing. Hub looks to drive. Picks up his dribble and finds Jordan on the bounce pass. He was tripped up, and he immediately grabs his left knee.
That's going to send us into a media timeout.
So with that foul call, we will head to break for a media timeout. Our score, American International 40 and Staten Island 36.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we are back from the tank where the Dolphins are now trailing by 4. They led by 5 at the break. 9-point swing through about 4.5 minutes in this second half. Yellow Jackets struggling to get it in.
And a big reason why, Joe, CSI has 6 turnovers in this half. They had 5 total in the first half, 6 in the half, and that's the same amount of shot attempts that they've had in the half. They are 1 of 6 from the field. It has been a really bad start for the Dolphins, and it's a big reason why they're down 4.
That's really striking, Nick. 6 turnovers versus 6 shot attempts in the half. You don't often see the turnover tally match the field goal attempts, but that's the position the Dolphins find themselves in right now. They are still right there as they're going to call a foul ahead of the inbound.
We saw a lot of those careless fouls for CSI in that first half. Can't allow that in here with the amount of turnovers you already have had in this second half. It's now 3 team fouls for CSI, only not even 5 minutes into the half.
That's Jet Dobbs. Now working against Mallory. Feeds it inside into the post. And that's a tough shot there by Balde. He spun right around Velasquez, but was then double-teamed and was able to finish off glass.
He did the same thing on the previous possession against Mallory. as Armas misses another three-pointer. CSI has really struggled on both sides of the ball in the second half.
Armas now 3 of 10 from downtown, as that three-pointer is good by Carlos Hub. His first made basket of the game, and that gives the Yellow Jackets a 9-point lead.
They're certainly buzzing right now, Joe. The Yellow Jackets are swarming all over this Dolphins offense and defense. Now their largest lead of the game, a 9-point lead. CSI needing to take a timeout with a 45-36 game.
And it's going to be a full timeout for Staten Island. So we will head to break. Our score, American International 45, Staten Island 36. Can the Dolphins turn things around in the second half?
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends, live sports and watch parties, to Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island. Be sure to check out the Kettle Black's monthly calendar of events, only at kettleblackbar.com.
And we are back from the tank. The Dolphins now trail by 9 points. They have just one made field goal in the second half and have been outscored 16-2.
And the Yellow Jackets have shot 7 of 10 from the field, Joe, 70% to that poor shooting from the Dolphins. A lot of bad turnovers, some careless fouls, and bad shooting will lead you to this deficit. CSI really needed that timeout. Hopefully they get some points here after it.
And instead they turn it over yet again. 7 field goal attempts, 7 turnovers for Staten Island.
Just a bad time performance in the second half for CSI.
The Yellow Jackets are swarming defensively, no pun intended. They have been all over the Dolphins in this second half, giving them no room to operate at the offensive end. Three-pointer by Hub, no good. And the Dolphins come down with the rebound.
CSI needs a bucket here, Joe. They cannot afford another miss or another turnover if they're going to get back into this game.
Shkolny for 3, and he was fouled.
Well, that's going to be one way to do it, Joe. Shkolny had the only free throws of the first half for the Dolphins. Missed both of them. He needs to make at least 2 of them to give CSI some momentum.
I mentioned it earlier. The Dolphins don't get to the line much. Just 2 free throws in that first half. You mentioned it. They belong to Shkolny, and he missed both. These the first free throw attempts of the second half. And that's short.
CSI cannot be affording to miss these free throws. Shkolny has to at least make 1 now, but you really need 2 realistically. CSI has lost a lot of momentum, only not even 7 minutes into the second half.
And Shkolny hits the second. I think a big change in this second half. Of course, the Dolphins have turned the ball over. We've spoken about that already. But in this second half, the Yellow Jackets are not attempting nearly as many three-pointers. And I think that's a product in part of the turnovers. But they were taking a lot of shots from the outside early in this game. Not so right now in the second half.
Yeah, as you said, Joe, 4 of 17 in that first half from the three-point arc. That's 23.5% from the arc. They knew they had to fix something, and these turnovers for the Dolphins have certainly helped them fix those shooting miscues.
And there's some more strong CSI defense as Velasquez double dribbled there.
That is something CSI could not have afforded. You get a turnover, could not capitalize, and you turn it right back over to the Yellow Jackets.
We'll get a look at it if we have a stoppage in the action in the near future, but Velasquez was beside himself, couldn't believe it. The Yellow Jacket lead is 7 points. And And the bounce pass inside was stolen once again by Velasquez.
CSI needing another bucket right here, Joe.
Chestnut for Mallory for two. And Messiah Mallory throws it down to two hands.
And the tank is back alive, Joe, with that dunk. Huge assist from Chestnut as CSI now makes it a 5-point game.
There's no overstating the impact that dunk can have on the spectators as the Yellow Jackets now on their heels just a bit. Coach Tibbs wants pressure on defense. The Dolphins now looking to swarm. 8 on the shot clock. Jet Dobbs, kick out. Hall open for three. No good. And Shkolny has the rebound.
And Shkolny, I believe, got fouled.
He sure did. He sure did.
Shkolny paying the price, but it's a big-time rebound and foul drawn by him.
Looked like Shkolny may have been helped to the floor just a bit. It was Carlos Hub who picked up the personal.
And how about this, Joe? Now a field goal on this possession for the Dolphins makes it a one-possession game. So a big opportunity for CSI right here.
Dolphins had a halftime cushion. This is Chestnut. Almost lost it, and he was fouled.
That's another big-time foul drawn by the Dolphins. Chestnut was just about to lose the ball, but was able to draw the foul. That's another tough break for the Yellow Jackets with 12:24 to go in the second half.
The Dolphins wanted a shooting foul there. They don't get that. But they will inbound with 20 on the shot clock. And immediately they find Armas, who rattles in a three.
It's as if the Yellow Jackets were caught sleeping now. Armas has had a rough start to the second half from the three-point arc. He makes a big triple right there. It's back to a 2-point game.
Armas will not hesitate when open. After a bit of a cold spell, he knocks down a big triple. And that's far too easy. And that's a product of that defense where you rotate and trap. Sometimes you'll give up the easy two, and the Dolphins did right there.
Could not have afforded that. That's a great opportunity missed for CSI's defense to get a stop and get the lead. Instead, now it's a 4-point game.
Mallory traveled. That's the right call.
Another turnover for CSI. Another media timeout here, Joe. 4-point lead for the Yellow Jackets with 11:47 to go in this game.
And it looks like we certainly have an exciting finish in store. Under 12 minutes to play in the second half, Staten Island trails American International 47-43.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
And we're back from the tank. Dolphins trail by 4. It is Yellow Jackets basketball. Inside of 12 minutes to play in the second half.
CSI giving that half-court trap, trying to get a turnover force. Weren't able to do it there. They'll look for a big defensive stop here, down 4.
Dolphins have trapped a bit at this end of the floor as well. They don't look to do so here. 8 on the shot clock. Hall for 3. And that's good. Big shot by Jack Hall.
Jack Hall is certainly not afraid to shoot three-pointers as well, Joe. He's done a lot of that in this second half. He makes a big-time one right there with the Yellow Jackets up 7.
And Armas answers from the left wing.
There we go for Armas. Back-to-back 3-pointers for him. Now he's starting to finally find that stroke that we saw in the first half, as there's going to be a kick ball on Shkolny, but now a 4-point game after that 3.
These two teams going back and forth in this second half. It was all Yellow Jackets early. Dolphins were knocked back onto their heels, and they've responded well. They played through a lot of adversity in the opening minutes of this second half and are now playing from behind. They led for all of the first half.
CSI was looking for a call there. No call as the Yellow Jackets get it up to the court.
Jet Dobbs with 12 to shoot. He's way beyond the arc and was fouled by Chestnut.
That's going to be the 4th team foul on CSI. And as we heard, Joe, that's his 3rd now.
It's number 3 on Chestnut. Took the words right out of my mouth as with 20 to shoot, the Yellow Jackets will inbound. Fakarode heads to the scorer's table, presumably to replace Chestnut. Hall bounce pass inside, and it was stripped away from Balde. He wanted a foul call and did not get it. 11 on the shot clock.
Well, you talked about it earlier, Joe. You like to see this kind from the officials, now non-calls in this game. But I think Balde had a nice, argument right there. I believe he got hit on the arm.
Early on, I think I was much more appreciative of the officials letting them play. I don't think the benches are liking it very much right now, and I think you're right. I think Balde certainly had a case there. As I was wrong, Chestnut did stay in the game. As Fakarode came in, it was Shkolny who was sent to the bench for the Dolphins. That was tipped on the way in by Velasquez, and now Jordan will look to post up. Yellow Jackets work it around the perimeter. Now posting up is Ellison, and Ellison gets the teardrop to go.
Big time post move by Ellison as he gets past Armas to make it now a 6-point game.
Ellison, just 1 of 6, has 8 rebounds and 3 assists. That field goal, just his 2nd of the game. He now has 5 points.
It's been a great job by the Yellow Jackets to take this lead up until this point, Joe, despite the fact that Ellison, their leading scorer, has not really made a big impact.
Velasquez for 3. No good. Fakarode with the rebound. Count it on the putback and 1.
What a big-time offensive rebound and bucket. CSI's down 4. They need this free throw now to make it a 1-possession game. The place is buzzing, Joe, and no pun intended. As it looks like we're going to get a replay of that and 1 in just a second. Fakarode now going to go to the free throw line to try to make this a 3-point game.
Free throw no good by Fakarode and rebounded by the Yellow Jackets. Dolphins continue with the pressure up to the timeline. 20 on the shot clock as Jordan was sent down to the floor, and that's number 4 on Chestnut.
Chestnut and the rest of the CSI faithful looking for a flopping call right there on Jordan. You be the judge if he was flopping or not. Either way, it's a foul on Chestnut, and it's now the 6th foul on the Dolphins.
We only caught the beginning of that play on replay. Maybe we'll get to it if there's a stoppage within the next few seconds. And Hall cannot hit the 3. Fakarode battles against Jordan and comes away with the rebound.
Huge rebound by CSI, Fakarode. Now CSI looking to make it a 1-possession game as Chestnut is able to force a foul on Hall.
Chestnut was fouled, and with that stoppage, we'll head back just a bit and see if we can spot what happened. And Nick, I haven't even queued up the replay fully yet, and I think those fans who were clamoring for a flop were certainly correct in doing so.
Got some acting here on the court, Joe.
Jordan launched himself across the floor. Not to say there wasn't a foul there, but he definitely embellished.
Definitely sold it. And listen, sometimes you have to do that as there's another turnover by the Dolphins here in the second half.
Here comes Jet Dobbs. Kick out for Jordan. Hall. Finds Jet Dobbs, 15 on the shot clock. Hall will try another three, and he buries it. Jack Hall once again with a big three-pointer.
Jack Hall has been huge in this second half, Joe. Another three-pointer, and he puts the Yellow Jackets now up 7 with under 9 minutes to go.
That's Velasquez on the pull-up. He's short, and the rebound goes to Balde.
Tough for CSI to really get some rebounds right now, and they really cannot been able to get some shots now down the stretch. Need a good defensive stand, but with Hall's hot shooting, you got to believe they're going to try to get him the ball again.
They double-team Jordan. Now Ellison will look to drive, and his pass was stolen.
CSI has numbers. They got to look up, and they do.
Outlet to Fakarode, and he's fouled. Now, that could have also been goaltending. Jet Dobbs jumped up and grabbed the rim.
That was a very close call there.
Let's take a look.
Fakarode now goes to the line. He hits the first, and we'll hit the replay.
Oh, no doubt about it. That's a goaltend.
Wow.
That is 100% a goaltend.
And as you said earlier, Joe, I don't think our officials know that we have instant replay, so...
I think you're right.
That's certainly something that could have been frowned upon, especially if CSI had missed the free throw right there. Luckily enough, Fakarode hits both. Now it's a 5-point game again.
Inbound goes to Hall. He's been huge for the Yellow Jackets in the second half. He now has 15 points.
They almost lost the ball there. And the foul's going to be on Skolny.
That's number 7 on the Dolphins.
Foul on Dolphins number 30, David Skolny. His third, team's second.
That will send Jack Hall to the line for a 1-and-1.
So a 1-and-1 trip here for Hall. He tries to extend the Yellow Jackets' lead.
We mentioned the Dolphins don't take many free throws, as Hall won't get that to go.
I've seen a lot of those today, Joe, where the ball just keeps going off the rim. And the Dolphins have had to wait a while to get that rebound.
That's Mallory on the floater off target and rebounded by Balde. The two teams combined have attempted just 19 free throws.
It's a great look by Velasquez, but Mallory had a really tough shot going up to the rim. Good defense from AIC.
That's Balde to the rim, and that was too easy. Big size advantage there for Balde over Skolny.
We've seen a lot of that in the second half. Balde has just been amazing in the paint. A lot of good post move, and he has just been a menace for CSI in the second half, as well as Hall.
Armas open in the corner. Can't hit. Velasquez battles for the rebound, but it's taken away by Jet Dobbs.
CSI really needing to get more people down in the paint, Joe, to get some of these rebounds. They've had just about 1 to the 3 that the Yellow Jackets have had on the rebounding.
That shot no good, and the tip-in also off the mark. That was awfully close, and those would have been 2 huge points for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. Huge sigh of relief for CSI. They could really use some points on this possession.
Armas was looking for Skolny, threw it away. Nearly traveled. As Ellison looks to drive, he goes at Mallory and scores. That makes it a 9-point game.
And once again, the momentum is swinging towards the Yellow Jackets. Another turnover force, a tough bucket by Ellison despite the great defense from Mallory. It's a 9-point game again.
That matches the largest lead of the afternoon for American International, as Mallory can't get that shot to go.
And now, once again, you're starting to hear the Dolphins faithful starting to get down right now. A 9-point game with just nearing the 6-minute mark.
That three-pointer way off by Jalen Jordan. Here comes Chestnut. Just over 6 minutes to play. Something I forgot to mention during the pregame as well, this Yellow Jackets team just played 2 days ago. As Shkolny will try the three, and that's a big basket by David Shkolny.
Well, I want to play by Velasquez. He had an open look, but decided to pass up for the two and get a huge three-pointer. It's back to a 6-point game. And a push-off there, Joe.
Big call goes against American International, but as I was saying, Nick, this is a team that played just 2 nights ago, and the energy they're playing with in the closing minutes of this game, certainly impressive, having played now twice already this week ahead of today's game. This their 3rd outing of the week, and we'll see if they have that energy for another 5 minutes and 37 seconds. Their lead is 6 over the College of Staten Island. When we come back, the conclusion of this NCAA Division II men's basketball matchup.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
And we're back from the College of Staten Island. Dolphins possess it, trailing by 6 with just over 5.5 minutes to play. Velasquez is double-teamed right in front of us as he gets it to Armas.
They
now
immediately
Shkolny,
swarmed on him.
He's open, and Shkolny could not connect on the three. It was saved by Ellison and kept in by Balde.
Wow. A lot of luck right there for the Yellow Jackets, as Velasquez tips that one out of bounds.
It will remain Yellow Jackets basketball. They inbound from the sideline. 19 on the shot clock, 5:13 remaining in the game. Jet Dobbs looks to drive, kick out. Ellison thought about a three instead, goes right at Chestnut. The spinning jumper, no good, and rebounded by Armas.
Great defense from Chestnut, and a great move by Ellison. Just a tough miss. CSI really could use a bucket here. Under 5 minutes to go in regulation, down 6.
Now, our live stats have Chestnut with 3 fouls. We thought he picked up number 4, as once again, it's Velasquez to Chestnut to Mallory.
The triple threat of the Dolphins right there, Joe. Great passing from CSI. Mallory on the finish. It's a 4-point game.
Well, that's a big question that I need answered during the next break. What's the official foul tally on Chestnut? We thought for sure he had 4. On the drive, that was Pikrishvili, and that shot won't go. That was a wild shot. And now the Dolphins can make this a 2-point game, and they do just that as Mallory lays it up and in. Timeout, American International.
What a great job by Chestnut. He started to go slow when he was going into the possession. Eventually saw Mallory, picked up the pace, got him down low. Big 2-point bucket right there. It's a 2-point game with 4:03 to go.
And with that, we head to a quick break. Full timeout called by the Yellow Jackets. Their lead is down to 2 points with 4:03 remaining.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experience as possible.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
And we are back from the tank. 4:03 to play. Dolphins trail by 2. CSI led by as many as 13 in the first half. American International led by as many as 9 in the second half. It's been a back-and-forth game from the beginning. And, Nick, during that timeout, I got confirmation J.J. Chestnut has just 3 fouls.
It's a huge number for CSI as there's a big miss, and the Dolphins, with this possession, Joe, can tie or take the lead.
And they just keep feeding the ball into Mallory, and that is working very well right now as Mallory will head to the line for 2 shots. And, Nick, I was about to say Jalen Jordan now has 13, but he couldn't get that layup to go, and that's a really big miss for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. Now Mallory can tie the game with these 2 free throws. He has had a nice impact down the stretch of this game, and it's been really good passing as well from J.J. Chestnut.
And that will bring us to a media timeout with 3:43 to play in the second half. So one more break, very likely our last. The Dolphins trail by 2. Messiah Mallory headed to the line with a chance to tie the game.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
And we are back from the tank where we have a 2-point game, 3:43 on the clock, and Messiah Mallory at the line for 2 shots with a chance to tie the game. First free throw is good.
Got the lucky bounce and roll. Now a chance to tie this game with the second free throw attempt.
Second free throw is good, and the score is knotted up at 59.
Huge turn of events in this game. CSI now has some momentum going. 1 point, we're down 9. Now we're tied at 59.
Dolphins continuing to pressure, and it doesn't look like the Yellow Jackets are going to get this over the timeline.
That half-court trap, Joe, was efficient from CSI.
They might check this, we'll see, but right now it appears it has to be Dolphins basketball. 19 on the shot clock, and the ball was not possessed across half court by the Yellow Jackets, but we'll see what they decide. It looks like right now American International is going to inbound. Here's a look at the replay. And that ball was never possessed, so I'm not sure how that's
a big call.
American
and now
International basketball, but perhaps if the ball was deflected out by a player who was standing across the timeline, the inbounding team retains possession, even if the clock has already ticked down inside of 20 seconds. I would guess that's the reason.
Yeah. I mean, either way, it's a huge call because not only does that happen, then Velasquez fouls immediately after, so now it puts the Yellow Jackets at the line looking to regain the lead.
Well, the foul, certainly not something the Dolphins were looking for out of that possession, but the free throw is no good, and Balde has the rebound.
That's a huge offensive rebound forced by the Yellow Jackets from Balde. And CSI had a chance to take advantage of the miss. Now the Yellow Jackets have a chance to once again regain the lead.
It's been advantage Staten Island on the glass in this game as that is laid in by Jet Dobbs. We mentioned the rebounding an issue for both of these teams coming in. Dolphins have delivered today. Held an 8-point advantage on the glass before that offensive rebound. This is Mallory on the turnaround. Count it! And one!
Messiah Mallory is here to stay. What a stretch he's had down these past 5 minutes, Joe. Another and one forced by the Dolphins. Mallory has going to the line now with a chance to give CSI back the lead.
And we'll get a second look at that make by Mallory. A big shot from Messiah. Free throw is up and good. Here's a second look at that basket as he was contacted on the arm. And with that, the Dolphins have taken the lead back.
It's been a long road to get back to this point for CSI, but they're now back up 1, 2:49 to go. We've got a great finish here at the tank.
This Dolphins pressure following the inbounds pass has really been disruptive. Jet Dobbs into the corner for Jordan. 18 on the shot clock. Hall will hand off to Jet Dobbs. Chestnut poked it away, and it's stolen by Velasquez.
Chestnut with another great defensive stand. Another turnover forced by the Dolphins, and they can extend their lead right here.
Shkolny to the rim, and he draws the foul.
The tides are certainly turning for the Dolphins, Joe, and now they're the ones that are swarming this Yellow Jackets offense and defense.
I said it before. American International played just 2 nights ago. Their 3rd game of the week. And this is a team that in this game hasn't played that many players. If I'm not mistaken, they've played 8, as have the Dolphins. Both teams with just an 8-man rotation. So Shkolny goes to the line and hits the first. And my final point is these players have played a lot of minutes this week, and it's right now that that's really beginning to take its toll.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give your hats off to the Yellow Jackets for this effort that they have put in this game. But you're right, Joe. It's certainly a wear and tear on their body right now with their 3rd game in as many days.
When you're tired, the last thing you want to see after you receive an inbounds pass, if you're on the Yellow Jackets, are 2 white jerseys coming right at you.
They got CSI has 4 on this one side of the court. They have been all over.
They've done a really good job with this press. It has been disruptive from the start. This is Ellison, hop step, and he's rejected by Mallory.
Joe, Christmas has come early with the stuff right there from Messiah Mallory.
You're saying that was a stocking stuffer?
Absolutely.
All right then. 1:48 to play. Dolphins lead it by 3. A chance here to make it a 2-possession game. Shkolny fakes. Looks to drive. Kick out for Velasquez. He brings it down. 6 on the shot clock. Velasquez was looking for Shkolny, and it was stolen.
That's a tough pass for Velasquez. Really a turnover CSI could not have afforded.
Shkolny was open. Velasquez left his feet. Didn't get enough on the pass. 15 to shoot for the Yellow Jackets. 1:15 to play. That 3-pointer is up and no good by Piakrishvili, rebounded by Shkolny.
And now if you're CSI with a 3-point lead, you got to milk some clock and wait till you get about 5 seconds on the shot clock to put up something. But a huge bucket right here would certainly give the Dolphins a lot more momentum than they currently have.
Dolphins wisely using a lot of the clock here. Mallory for Shkolny. Shkolny over to Chestnut. Armas open. No good from the corner, and it's rebounded by Jordan. 35 seconds remaining in a 3-point game.
About a 9-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock, Joe. So the Yellow Jackets, will they go for the quick 2 or try to set up a 3?
They want Hall. He steps back, and the three-pointer is good.
What a shot.
Jack Hall from downtown, and he has tied the score at 64. What a big shot by the freshman guard from Avon, Connecticut.
He has been amazing in the second half, Joe, especially from the three-point arc. He knocks that shot down where now 21.2 left. Now if you're TJ Tibbs, you have a chance to set up your possession right here and go for the final shot of this regulation to give CSI what would be a great win.
And it certainly would be a big win for the College of Staten Island. We've spoken about it at length. This Dolphins team has built first-half leads all season long. We've seen a few of those get away. This game, once again, was one such case. They led by as many as 13, trailed by as many as 9, just led by 3 moments ago, and that big shot by Hall ties the score at 64 with 21.2 on the clock. So the Dolphins now will diagram something out of this timeout. What are you looking for from this Dolphins huddle?
I mean, Joe, the biggest key to their second half success has been inside the paint, in my opinion. Mallory has been open a lot of times. I think you have to give it to Mallory in this situation. But if you're the Yellow Jackets, you have to believe that that ball is going to be going down inside the paint. So if you're AIC, they have to avoid drawing a foul. They have 10 fouls in this second half. They cannot afford one here. If you're CSI, I think the ball has to go to Mallory in this type of situation to try to get a big win.
Just keep in mind that the timeout in the men's collegiate game does not advance the ball. The Dolphins will have to get it across the timeline. We'll see if the Yellow Jackets look to press it all here. They will not. 16 seconds remaining. Velasquez to Chestnut. Dolphins will hold for the last shot. Chestnut for Armas. Deep three-pointer is good. Luis Armas from downtown, and the Dolphins lead it by 3.
Oh, my goodness, Joe. What a shot by Armas. He knocks out another triple. He had a really slow start to the second half. Boy, as he picked it up down the remaining 10 minutes of this second half. But with 4.9 to go on the game clock, there is still enough time for the Yellow Jackets to try to tie this game.
I couldn't believe he shot it, Nick. That was from another area code as Luis Armas buries the 3 with just inside of 5 seconds remaining. What a shot by the Dolphins sophomore.
Well, now, if you're CSI, now the question is, Joe, and I think this is what TJ Tibbs is going to talk about in the huddle, CSI realistically should foul in this situation with up 3 points. A quick foul would force the Yellow Jackets to at least try and hit their first free throw and then maybe potentially miss and try to get the offensive rebound to try to tie the game. CSI cannot afford to give, especially Jack Hall, another 3-point opportunity. CSI realistically should try to go for the intentional foul so they can get 2 free throws forced, and that would keep the Dolphins on top.
Armas now 7 of 17 from the field, 6 of 15 from downtown, and his 3-point percentage has really fluctuated in this game. At one point, he hit a bit of a cold spell, was 3 of 11. Since then, has hit 3 of his last 4, none bigger than that last one. He has played the full 40 minutes.
He has been unbelievable, Joe. You could say what you want. He had his hot start. He had a cold stretch. He's back to being hot once again. But with 4.9, CSI cannot overtake the fact of how big that shot was. They need a good stop right here in order to get the big win here.
Well, I know Luis wants to join us for our post-game interview.
Absolutely.
And if this score stands, I have a hunch that he will be our TLC Physical Therapy Player of the Game. But the Dolphins still have to defend for 5 seconds. And, Nick, you made a great point. If this clock gets down inside of about 2 or 3 seconds, the Dolphins need to foul. I agree with you. And it won't matter as the Yellow Jackets threw it away.
Well, Joe, the issue was they were at 4.9. They had to inbound the ball and get it up the court, and they have no timeouts left. So that was realistically the only play they could have done in that situation. But instead, it goes out of bounds. Now for the Yellow Jackets, they're going to have to foul immediately. And the question is, who do you put at the free throw line to hope that they miss at least 1 or 2?
If the Dolphins miss a free throw, there is still hope for American International. And CSI is forced to use their last timeout. So the Dolphins are actually in the double bonus. So the Dolphins need to miss both free throws to keep American International in this game. But a bit of an interesting decision there by the Yellow Jackets bench. The Dolphins initially called timeout after that made three by Armas. American International then called timeout right after that. So they prioritized diagramming a play off of that inbound rather than trying to inbound the ball and then calling a timeout once they had it across half court. And with the possibility that CSI could foul, that's a decision that they may be regretting right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to figure out now, how do you go into this situation? You obviously would love to get a steal off the inbound, but you'll have to go quickly up the court and probably have a half-court heave to at least try to tie the game. They're going to have to foul. The question is, as I said earlier, who would they foul in the situation to potentially miss those two free throws? Dolphins realistically need one, Joe, and they've won this game.
Well, I said it last year at the time. I believe Nick Durst and I were covering the game. Late in the game, the Dolphins were playing Roberts Wesleyan University, and they led by 3. I thought they should absolutely foul. They did not. The Redhawks inbounded the ball across half court, went up with a shot. It rattled out. It was halfway down, and that would have sent the game to overtime. So we'll see if the Dolphins elect to foul should we get to that point. The Dolphins are going to inbound here.
Now, Joe, I think the key point is giving Armas to the free throw line. He's the CSI's best free throw shooter on the season.
And we had a foul potentially before the inbound.
And it was, Joe. That was almost a dangerous play for CSI, almost a turnover force, which would have given the Yellow Jackets a chance. Now Mallory goes back to the free throw line. As we said, Joe, realistically, one free throw, and the Dolphins will have a good win.
Dolphins looking to make it 2 in a row on their home floor. Can Mallory ice it from the line? He'll have 2 tries to make this a 2-possession game. Perhaps some premature applause from the fans here, but Mallory gets it to go, and the Dolphins' lead is now 4 points.
And now if you're CSI, avoid any type of foul. Let them take the three-point shot. Does not matter. This one's over, Joe.
Dolphins lead it by 5, and Messiah Mallory puts this one on ice from the charity stripe. Yellow Jackets roll it in, but they do not have enough time. Hall will try a 3, and that's off back iron, no good. And for the College of Staten Island, it's a come-from-behind victory in the second half. They trailed by as many as 9 in the second half. They battle back and pick up the 5-point win.
It was not the prettiest of second halves, Joe, for the Dolphins, but they got some great shooting down the stretch, especially from Luis Armas. Messiah Mallory was also clutch, and we saw some great passes from Chris Velasquez and J.J. Chestnut. All of them were a key success in CSI grabbing a second straight victory here at the Tank, 69-64 over the Yellow Jackets.
And I have a feeling that shortly we will be having a conversation with Luis Armas, who will be named our TLC Physical Therapy Player of the Game. They're going to get us our backdrop out here. So, Nick, I'm going to turn it over to you for just a few moments, and I will be joined on the court by Luis Armas, our TLC Physical Therapy Player of the Game.
Well, as Joe said, we're going to turn it over to me now. And like Joe said, Luis Armas was a monster in this game. He had 20 points in this game, 6 of 15 from the three-point arc. As we said, he had his cold start. He had a great, stretch down the end of this game. He was a monster for CSI. Messiah Mallory had 19 points, 8 rebounds. He also was a huge factor in CSI getting back into this game. And David Skolny, how about his performance from the three-point line? 4 of 6 from 3, 16 points on the day. Chestnut had 10 assists and 4 rebounds. A lot of good contributions all around from the Dolphins. They're able to pick up a monstrous win here at the Tank, 69-64 over a Yellow Jackets team that realistically played their third game in as many days, kept it close, but were just not able to get it done down the stretch. We almost just had a catastrophe here as the backdrop for us almost dropped. But for the Yellow Jackets, Jack Hall, great performance from him. He had 18 points on the night. Had a great three-pointer to tie the game at 64. They were not able to score after that. Jalen Jordan did his work with 11 points, had 5 rebounds, and kept the Yellow Jackets in this game. But CSI, despite the amount of turnovers they had forced in the second half, they were able to force a lot of turnovers on this Yellow Jackets team. 27 turnovers forced by the Dolphins. CSI is able to hang on for a big-time win. They're second in as many days. As now it looks like we're going to turn the camera over and turn it over to my broadcast partner, Joe Foreman. He is here with our TLC physical therapy player of the game, Luis Armas. Once again, magnificent performance from him with 20 points. As we turn it over now to Joe Foreman.
I am joined on the court by Luis Armas, our TLC physical therapy player of the game. And Luis, hot and cold stretches in that game for you and your team, but late in that game you hit several big shots. What was the key to knocking down those big shots down the stretch?
Key to knocking down those shots, and my teammates, they just find me. My role on this team is simply to do my best job on defense and hit shots when it comes time to it. It's all thanks to them finding me open. That's it.
Speaking of your teammates, I spoke to Coach Tibbs at the half. You guys had 12 assists on your first 14 made baskets. How big was the ball movement down the stretch, and how much of a point of emphasis is that for you and your teammates?
That was huge, man. We got away from it a little bit, shied away from contact, those gaps, getting into the paint. That's what gave us the lead, honestly, at the beginning of the game. And once we found that once more, it was game over.
Now that last possession, that final shot, you went up with that deep three-pointer with about 5 seconds to go. Was that the play? Were you feeling it in rhythm? What was the mindset going into that possession? Was anything diagrammed in the huddle?
That was mostly the play, or one more to the corner to my teammate. It's just, if I had the shot, Coach Tibbs puts all his faith in me. He knows how hard I work, all our teammates work, and he just told me, he was yelling at me to shoot it from the bench. So.
Now, last time I spoke to our TLC physical therapy player of the game, Messiah Mallory, I asked him, what can I expect from this team? He said more wins. You've now won 2 in a row. Is there anything more you'd like to add to that?
A whole lot of wins, man. We're going to go streaking. We need it. We need it.
All right, Luis Armas calling a wings.
Huh?
Shout your mother out. Te quiero mucho, mami.
I can talk? Mami, te quiero mucho. Sorry.
That was Coach Tibbs from off camera passing a message to our TLC physical therapy player of the game, Luis Armas. Great performance, Luis. Thanks for joining us.
Always, man.
Dolphins with a big 5-point win over American International College. They've now won 2 in a row. Back to Nick.
Well, once again, great performance from Luis Armas and a great interview by our own Joe Foreman here at the scores table. Once again, the final score of this game, CSI gets a big-time win, 69-64 over the Yellow Jackets. Armas, as we said, was a monster down the stretch of the game. 20 points, 8 rebounds, a clutch three-pointer to give CSI the lead late. CSI's defense down the stretch of that game was huge. They forced 27 turnovers against American International. And it's a great performance from the Yellow Jackets. They kept it close. Their third game, as I said, in as many days. But unfortunately, Joe, they just could not get it done down the stretch. They seemed very tired, and they could really not go up against that CSI press, defense. And it really hurt them down the stretch. And unfortunately, it's a third straight loss now for them.
3 games in a week is very tough. They played on Tuesday, they played again on Thursday, and played yet again here today. Credit to them. They fell behind by double digits in the first half, and they responded very well. They battled all the way back, took a lead by as many as 9 points, a big 22-point swing in this game. But credit to the Dolphins as well. They showed tremendous resilience, were able to battle all the way back late in the second half. A late run by CSI and a huge shot by Luis Armas to give them the win. But on the other side, for American International College, Jack Call hit a huge shot late in the game. He finished with 18 points, and Jalen Jordan was consistent for the majority of the game as well. He finished with 11 on 5 of 11 shooting. A lot of standout performances as well for AIC, but of course for the College of Staten Island, once again, it was Messiah Mallory and Luis Armas. Mallory had 19 on 8 of 14, hit all of his free throws. He had 8 rebounds. Of course, Armas, our TLC physical therapy player of the game, 20 points, 6 of 15 from downtown. And then David Shkolny had a very strong game as well. He finished with 16 points, 4 of 6 shooting, all on three-pointers.
Absolutely, Joe. I mean, the CSI, they were able to get a lot of threes in this game. There were some stretches where they weren't making those threes, but Armas and Shkolny really were a key factor in this win. Armas obviously hitting the game-winning three towards the end. He finishes with 20 points. Mallory, as you said, was monster. And let's not forget J.J. Chestnut. As I said, 10 assists in this game. He really facilitated the ball and saw the open looks that CSI really needed down the stretch of the game. He was another big reason why they were able to get back into it and get a key win over a Yellow Jackets team that came today, looking to get a big-time win on the road.
Well, speaking of Chestnut, you were making a great point there. I was actually about to make this point myself. You take a look at the plus-minus, and I'm not sure how much stock you put into that personally, Nick, but fans of analytics would like to know J.J. Chestnut, plus 11, by far the best plus-minus in this game. More than triple his closest teammate. No other Dolphin was better than a plus 3 in the game. Chestnut, a plus 11, had his minutes limited just a bit due to foul trouble, played just shy of 30 minutes in the game. Luis Armas and Messiah Mallory officially played all but 4 seconds in the game, though. I think they may have played the full 40 minutes. This printout may have been from before the game was wrapped up. But nonetheless, a lot of Dolphins logging a lot of minutes, just an 8-man rotation, and it's a 5-point win for the College of Staten Island as they knock off American International College in non-conference play. So from everyone here at the College of Staten Island, this has been Joe Foreman, and alongside my broadcast partner, Nick Bavona, we all thank you for watching. Our final score once again, CSI 69, American International 64. This has been NCAA Division II men's basketball coverage exclusively on CSI Sportsnet, a proud part of the ECC network.